I'm Sonic, a little blue ball of super energy in an extremely handsome package. And in order to save my planet, I had to come to yours. Where am I? What year is it? Is The Rock president?
Okay, guys, thanks for the time. Congratulations for the movie.
Thank you very much.
You know, it's so cool and at the same time very weird to see Sonic on the big screen interacting with people.
Yeah.
what was your first reaction when they called you for this movie?
My hand just jumped up into the air. It was I was a video game kid growing up, and all of these characters. It was him. It was Mario. It was from Pong, from the beginning of like all in television and Commodore 64. All these consoles. My mother was constantly shouting at me to come eat dinner, and I only finished this board. Finish this board. I'm gonna get over this level first.
Yeah.
Right. It was like beat this level. So to be a part of to take that pop culture and turn it into a film and be a part of it with Ben Schwarts and Jim Carrey and Tika. It's like, I'm in. It was a wonderful opportunity, and it's something else to get to share with all
Like
my
a dream
kids.
come true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Ben, was it difficult to find the voice of Sonic?
For me, I kind of was like, oh, you know what? This is like because I was a huge fan of the video game growing up. So in my head, I was like, oh, it's a very excited kid, and the energy that you see in these games, and the speed and the attitude that he has, right? He's funny in these games as well. He has a comedic persona. I was like, if I can bring that into his voice, so if I almost make him like a little kid that just really wants to do well and like be a part of people's lives and connect with human beings and be funny, I think I can kind of find my version of what this sounds like. So that's kind of what I did. I used the speed that he does, but I use it in his in the way that he talks and the way that he loves things and wants to finally be allowed to get out and see the world. And people have been responding to it very positively, which makes me so happy.
Gene, thanks for the time. Congratulations.
Absolutely.
It's nice
good
to see you again.
Very good to see you.
And the first question is, why did you choose this character and this movie to return to the big screen?
Oh, it's a fantastic opportunity. I mean, first of all, some of the greatest things in my heart that I've ever done that have lasted as far as a feeling of accomplishment and satisfaction are the things that appeal to kids. The Grinch and the Ace and but at their best, they're things that kids can enjoy, but also a parent is going to have a good time.
Do you feel good in family movies?
I do. I do. I love them. I love them. I think it's a great part of the whole thing, and I want to do everything. But there's definitely a soft spot in my heart when I have kids start dressing up on Halloween as the characters I do, or they come to me and they're your age and they say, I grew up with you.
Yeah.
And I go, my gosh, that's really something.
How would you describe the relationship of Tom and Sonic?
Well, I think there's a bit of an odd couple when they first meet. I mean, I know that Sonic has been watching Tom and wanting to be kind of in his field of gravity and one of his friends, and he's leading a relatively lonely life for a long period of time, wanting to he's like bottle up and explode because he's so curious about this human that he's been watching and the world and wants to see it all, and Tom is like wanting to get out of this small town. He's been living in a small town, and he's a small town cop, but he feels like there's more meaning out there for him to find for himself, or more purpose for him. And when they meet, they accidentally, I guess you could say, they start to help each other on their own journeys, and through that journey they become very close and love each other's company and make each other laugh. And then it's like all of a sudden kind of hard to say goodbye to yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, they become real friends, which is what Sonic wanted from the very beginning, and which Tom slowly warms up to. And then they kind of need each other. They both help each other learn something that helps them grow.
And what was your inspiration for create this character, Dr. Robotnik?
Well, Robotnik is a perfect example of power and intelligence compensating for a lack of nurturing and absolute neglect. So underneath all that fabulousness and that intelligence and that super worldliness and that visionary mind is a worthless nothing of a human being in his own mind. So it's all compensation. And
And
we're not seeing enough of that, are we?
you have an amazing career. So I want to ask you, what made you decide to become an actor?
I think I came out an actor. I really did. I came out an actor. There wasn't a time. They tell me stories about when I was an infant, and I realized that if I sat in my high chair and started shaking like this, like that the whole family would start laughing, and my dinner would get cold, and I wouldn't have to eat my vegetables. And that was it. And that was before I knew what I was doing. I also had a father who was just a beautiful soul, who would, like, if you met him, if you talked to him, within 5 minutes, you feel like you've known him and you've been his friend for 50 years. And I get emotional talking about him. He was funny and animated, and I used to, as a child, I used to look at him and I used to watch him tell a story and go, that's what I want to be. That's it.
You got a lot of experience in voiceover, but
I do.
What is the most complicated part from play a character only with the voice?
The sincere hardest part is sometimes I do characters that have very high octaves, and I'll blow my voice out, and I'll be yelling, because when you're doing these, there's a lot of you know what I mean, and you'll lose your voice because you do it for hours each day. So in terms of physically demanding, that's it. But there's so many positives that I love outside of being able to voice a Sonic or Dewey or Leonardo or any of these characters that I've done. It's that you get to be like a crazy, fun, wacky version of yourself, because whatever I do is how they animate it. So if I make up something, they're going to animate Sonic doing that thing, and it's such a beautiful thing to work with animators that are so incredible that I could say and do something and they have video of my face doing it, and they'll bring my face and my actions into this movie, in a movie with James and Jim. So it's so beautiful to watch, and it's so funny to do it, and then a year later see what I look like doing it.